The Columbia Lions, the reigning Ivy League regular season champs, 28-6 overall. A new program record for W's, 12-2 in conference play. They made a trip to the WNIT for the second straight season, all the way to the championship game against Kansas. And joining us today is head coach Megan Griffith, along with guards Abby Shue, as well as Kitty Henderson, as I see a bunch of familiar faces here on screen. It's good to see the three of you. Looking forward to the upcoming season. Coach, I will start with you with some opening statements.
Hey, Lance. We are thrilled to be here. We're thrilled to be back. You know, this means that the start of basketball season is around the corner. And I know we have a lot of new faces in our program that we're eager for everybody to get to know. These two young women on the screen with me, you know, they're no stranger to our league. But, you know, we have 8 new players in our program. And, you know, I would just say that the energy in our gym has been fantastic. Level of communication, attention to detail. We've got, although new and, you know, 6 of them are first years, 2 of them are transfers. They're extremely intelligent and smart, and they're picking up on concepts really fast, which has allowed us to progress faster than even I thought at the beginning of this season. So we're really eager for everybody to get to see us. We have an extremely challenging non-conference schedule that I think will set us up really intentionally for the Ivy League and to be playing into March. And again, like I said, just excited to get this rolling. So Abby and Kitty, that I'm sure they're excited to answer some questions for you all as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll start with the players, and then I'm going to circle back to you,
Perfect.
Coach, eventually in terms of the conversation. Kitty, I want to start with you because it's a Henderson family affair this year, with your sister joining the mix, as Coach alluded to, some of the new faces. What is it like to be able to share the court with your sister, and how much do you think she will add a new dimension to this team?
Yeah. Hey, Lance, it's nice to see you again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to have Fliss here. I mean, like you said, it's kind of a edge that we have because we have played together our whole lives. But it's really exciting. I mean, we have really, really strong guards. So we have a lot of depth on the bench. We can kind of just get everyone in any position. We're very versatile in that way. So I'm super excited to kind of see that part of the game this year.
Abby, you're coming off another very strong campaign. As Coach alluded to, though, it's hard to overlook the fact that there's no Caitlin Davis, there's no Hannah Pratt, there's no Jada Patrick, 3 key ingredients. What is your mindset in terms of how much more you may need to take on this season after losing that boatload of talent?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to miss those players, but I want to emphasize the fact that, like, we have some great talent coming in, and you guys will see that as we start playing. And I'm just super excited. As far as my load, what I have to produce, just trying to get better. I don't think there's a certain amount that I need to produce more, but I think, you know, just learning to play with the players around me and making them better, as well as they're going to make me better as well. So.
What have the two of you, if you both can answer this one after another, what have you seen out of the new faces that encourages you and excites you that they will be able to step in and make an immediate impact?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
I was going to say, we always say we have a really smart group coming in. They pick up on things quick. And what Coach alluded to is, like, they're hungry. I mean, they're coming in, they're hungry to get better. And it's just exciting to play with and be a part of every single day.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say something similar. They're super hungry, the energy in the gym, like Coach G said. I mean, I'm loving it. We're having fun, but we're not scared to kind of call each other up. And that's really, really refreshing in terms of just people listening and kind of putting in exactly what we're saying to them, which is really exciting, especially with new people. I think they're just really bought into what we want to do, and we're coming back for that Ivy title again.
Since the two of you have joined the program, there's been building blocks. Seems each and every year you take that next step forward. And last season, you get that Ivy League title. You make it all the way to the WNIT championship. I guess what I'm getting at is, how much does this team still have a chip on its shoulder? Even though you have received individual accolades and team accolades, that there's still more to scratch the surface of this season.
Yeah, I'd say every year our standard gets higher and higher. So we play with the chip on our shoulder regardless, regardless of win or loss. So I think just proving to ourselves, like, we could play at a certain level and going out and doing that. It's not about who we're facing on the court. It's knowing that we play at this standard and raising to that standard every time we step on the court.
Yeah, I mean, going off that, like, we're always hungry. We're never satisfied. We have a lot of goals, and I think that some of those we fell short of, and we're definitely looking to knock them down this year. And I'm definitely confident in the team that we have.
Now, Abby, you really branched out your game in terms of this offseason. You were able to play on the USA America Cup team. What did that experience afford you? And when you expose yourself to different talent, even well outside the Ivy League and NCAA college basketball, what did that enable you to put your game in perspective?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I got to, learn from some really great coaches and also play with some really great players. So just being able to put myself in that position and just be a sponge, I think that was my main goal coming out. And just, whatever happened within those weeks, I just want to make sure I came back with as much information as I could hold. And yeah, I do have to say, like, I learned some great things and came out a better player and better person after that experience.
Now, clearly, Abby, you've stood out because of your three-point shooting. So, Kitty, I want to bring you into the equation here. 285 made threes for Abby. Okay, 287 is the Ivy League career record. How much are you pinpointing, given you were tied for the Ivy League in assists last season, of how you're going to get her the ball and which game and when it's going to come in the early stages of the season? Have you mapped it out, Kitty, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, I love playing with Ab because I'm always looking to get her open. I mean, our team knows how we want to play. And Ab, she shoots that ball very well, as we know. So we're always looking for her. But I mean, as early as possible, Lance, that's the plan. But we're looking at every day individually at the moment. But definitely, like, we're just looking at what's in front of us right now. But I'm super excited to get going with Ab again. I mean, she's breaking records every year, as is this team. So we're really looking to do that again.
And as the both of you mentioned, you have bigger goals in terms of the team. But Abby, do you take a step back at all? I mean, Kitty just mentioned you're pretty much reworked and written the entire Columbia record books. Do you think about the fact that you're this close to making more threes than any other Ivy League player in the history of this league?
Well, when someone brings it up, obviously it's in your mind, but day to day, no, like Kitty said, we're just focused on getting better as a team. I'm not focused on breaking a record at the moment. I'm just focused on, getting our young ones up to speed and, attacking every single day as a team.
Yeah, Abby's very humble as well, so she's never going to be thinking about that. But we're always trying to hype her up because she has to be reminded of how good she is sometimes.
Well, you can blame me too. I'm the latest person to bring it up. And Abby, I guarantee you I'll bring it up a few more times in the early stages of the season. So I'm apologizing in advance, but I certainly appreciate you being forthright in terms of that department. I want to bring Megan Griffith into the conversation. And Coach, I asked the players earlier, and I know, you have set massive goals when you took over 8 years ago, but when you look at what you accomplished last season and how you beefed up the schedule, and unfortunately, that didn't seem to be good enough in the eyes of the NCAA tournament holders. What are you hoping that this non-conference slate and the nucleus of the team can overcome this season in terms of getting some more national recognition outside of just the Ivy League?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's what we try to do internally. And, one, I'm just so proud of these two. Like they just crushed those questions that you gave them. But I would just say, for us, it's about what we can control, right? Focusing on the things that are in our control, and scheduling is absolutely one of them. Last year, intentionally, we had the schedule that we did. No one knew Miami would go to the Elite Eight. No one knew so-and-so would do X, Y, and Z, right? Same thing as this year. We're going in with a schedule that we essentially mimicked what we did last year, and we added a little bit more depth to the top 150 net teams, right? So for us, it was like we had to try to stay as much as we could out of the 250 plus and really try to keep all of our net opponents into teams from the previous season that were around 150 or less, knowing we would get some marquee games, at the Bahamas, also at home, hosting some really great opponents. So for us, it's just, again, control what we can control, focus on those things, and then the rest will take care of itself. But, I have no doubt that this team will be ready to battle on November 6th when that first game comes.
And you have some of this top-tier competition coming to your backyard, Duke and Villanova specifically. I mean, how exciting is it to really, right out of the gates, have an opportunity to see maybe not necessarily what Abby and Kitty could do because they've been in the program, but some of the younger players that you're looking to get into the mix?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's, why wait, right? This is not a long, basketball season is long, right? In terms of we were playing till April 1st last year, right? That's a long season, but every day is an opportunity for us to get better. And this team is extremely focused on the challenges in front of them and not the ones behind them. So we're trying to take every day as a new challenge, a new opportunity. And, having Duke come to your gym in the third game of the season, that's a great opportunity. But so is going to Stony Brook on opening night. So for us, honestly, we're not looking at the name across the jersey. We're just trying to take care of business in our own house first.
Caitlin Davis, who is one of the players I brought up earlier, meant so much to your program. You've even referred to her as a unicorn because of the versatility that she brings to the table. And I know your focus is on, hey, there's plenty of talent coming in. But in fairness, Megan, how do you go about replacing a player that really contributed in so many different areas for your team?
Well, I can't speak enough about those players that graduated, and Caitlin in specifically did a lot for us. We really worked our offense around kind of her skill set, but I can tell you, like, it's not about replacing her. When we recruit, my staff does a phenomenal job. They've just been fantastic in terms of bringing in what we need and not what we have. Right. So we didn't go out and say, hey, we got to go find KD, because there isn't another KD, in my opinion. Right. So you go out and find the people that we think can fill the holes for us, but also continue to shape our offense and defense with the players that we're bringing in, and not just saying, hey, let's try to be what we were last year. So it's definitely more of a by committee approach. I think you're going to see different kinds of lineups on the floor for us than we've traditionally had in the last 5 seasons. But that's what I'm looking forward to, is putting that puzzle together. The person wearing the number 4 jersey is Kitty's sister this next year. And I can tell you she's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So we're really eager to watch our next number 4 step on the court.
Well, Kitty already provided a bit of a scouting report, so I think everybody's on the same page with respect to that. It's just a matter of maybe not confusing the 2 Henderson sisters when perhaps calling a basketball game.
They can confuse them all they want. Yeah, they can confuse them all they want.
I was selfishly referring to a broadcasting standpoint, but yes, from a basketball standpoint, I don't think anybody's going to complain. I'm just selfishly bringing myself into the equation. But before we open up the media questions, with respect to the dynamics of this team, and you've seen them come a long way in terms of what you bring forth on offense and defense, where do you want to see this team make a jump on either side of the ball this season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big thing for me are in-game, like, quick adjustments that we need to make. That's our biggest adjustment as a program, is can we do that out of a timeout, on a free throw line, at a foul, dead ball? Can we make the adjustments in the game in that moment? That's something we've been focusing a lot on. We've been really challenging them in practice to be able to do that and take ownership of some of those decisions as well. So that goes for both sides of the ball. But that's the thing that we've really been harping on in this preseason.
All right, let's open it up to media questions. Richard Kent joins us from Ivy Hoops Online. Richard, all yours.
Hey, Meg, how are you?
I'm great, Richard. Good to see you, or see your hand up.
Right. So it's well documented that you were either the first or the second team out last year by the selection committee. Do you feel that your institution in the league itself is doing enough to promote women's basketball to make it annually a 2-bid league?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that one, I'm very proud to be a member of the Ivy League and, one of these great 8 institutions. I think that the league is doing a great job right now at trying to refocus on some of our strategies moving forward. And that's the thing, this is one of the instances, or one of the examples of last season that we're bringing up in these conversations, but they've been welcoming those conversations. We're trying to make sure our league is branded well on a national stage, especially as a women's basketball league. So, we're looking into the future with that, not trying to dwell too much on the past, but learn from last season as well.
Thanks, Meg.
Thanks so much, Richard. How about Jen Hatfield from the Next? Jen.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Megan, if I can start with you, can you tell us a little bit about your incoming transfers, and, how much does it help to have some more experienced newcomers to complement the freshman class?
It's great. It is very helpful. I can tell you that, Jen. We've seen the benefits of this with a couple of, the Jada Patrick that came in 2 seasons ago. We even had a transfer 2 seasons prior to that. 2 players that are not just great people, but really high level thinkers of the game. It's been such a luxury to have. They can play, literally the 2 of them are playing 1 through 4 on the court for us. Hey, Ava, I need you to do this. Cece, can you go run the point? And they're just so willing and eager that they've stepped up to every challenge that our team has seen so far, which is a great sign for the adversity that's to come in a long season. So it's been really a true pleasure coaching 2 great basketball minds that are hungry to learn you know, and really team first mentality. You know, that's one of the hardest adjustments is learning the culture of a program. But I felt, you know, CC and Ava have done a great job just diving in head first and embracing the things that matter to this program.
And then for Abby and Kitty, you know, for both of you, just, you know, Coach G was talking about how things might look a little bit different this year, different people, different positions. You know, what's something that feels a little bit different to you guys, but that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, Jen. I think that something that feels a little different is definitely the way that we can think about the game of basketball. Like, we definitely have a lot of smart players this year that are, like Coach G said, catching on to things really quickly. And so if you tell them one thing, like, you're not going to have to tell them again a lot of the time. And I think that's something that we're definitely going to bring into the games, and kind of like Coach G said, adjusting quickly in games. That's super important for our success. And I think that's something that's definitely exciting.
Yeah, I wish you should. 1000%. Smart, some smart cookies on the court.
Thank you.
All right, Jed, appreciate the question. Rob Brown of Ivy Hoops Online joins us. Rob?
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Great, Rob. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. Last year, Noah missed the whole season, and then Perry left, was injured 2/3 of the way through the season. How are they, you know, getting ready for this season?
Well, I can tell you those two, and you know, really anybody that's gotten injured in our program. We have phenomenal strength and conditioning staff, athletic training staff. That's our performance team, and you know, they've done a great job just making sure they're ready to go. So seeing Noah back in a jersey, practicing every day, seeing Perry crushing a rehab every day, getting right to the cusp of being able to ready to play. That's what this preseason has really shown us, is that they didn't miss a beat, even though they were maybe sidelined for some part of last year. Especially Noah, who was out for the whole season. You know, I think the two of them are really, really smart, but they also get what hard work takes, you know, and to be able in a position where they're healthy and they're back and they're ready to compete. You know, I think that they've really taken that last season and taken that time off to understand where they need to go. And so they came back, both of them, better than they were pre-injury, which has really been great to see as a coach.
You talked earlier about the long season, and you guys have had 2 really long seasons where you've had your foot to the pedal the entire time. Does the tweaks to this year's schedule, do you think that's going to be a help, you know, as you start getting to the latter part of the year?
Most definitely. You know, I think that we like to say in our program, like, you know, a season is it's you know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, but every day is a sprint in our program. Because we're trying to get better every day, right? 1% better, gain some inches every day. So intentionally with this schedule and with the experience we have coming back, you know, starting with Abby, Kitty, Paige, you name it, right down the line. These players, they played a lot of basketball in the last 2 years, you know, post-pandemic. And I know that we can also trust them to tell us, hey, when they need a day off, maybe we need to go, you know, so-and-so, maybe we need this today. Like, I really trust the two of them to tell me what we need and when we need it. So we don't need to practice every day, right? I don't, you know, they're really in tune with what's going on with them as a group right now, that I feel like this schedule, the strength of this schedule, but also, you know, having these 2 long seasons, it's like they know what we need. And I'm really leaning into them as our captains, so that, you know, we are as fresh as possible come March.
And the last one for me is with that idea of you know, getting greater exposure for the league, 2 bids, you know, each year, getting it consistent. Do you think that there's any tweak that needs to be done to the tournament, just the tournament layout right now, especially with the additional tournament, the national tournament that's in place?
Something we're talking about right now amongst league members. You know, I think as a women's coaching group, we don't really think the tournament is the issue. We think it's, you know, I think it's the conference season, the non-conference season leading up to that moment, and how we are really making our case to be a too big league before that moment, right? It's almost too late if you're trying to make your case at the tournament, right? It's, you know, we should be talking about these things throughout the entire season, which again, the league has been extremely open to doing that. And I think we will see some changes in the next few years.
Thanks.
And thanks so much, Rob. She is the head coach of the Columbia Lions, Megan Griffith, players Abby Shue and Kitty Henderson. It's always good to speak with the 3 of you. I wish you the best of luck for the upcoming season. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Lance.
you.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
Landon.
You got it. My pleasure. That is a look at the Columbia Lions in the upcoming season as Columbia opens on the road at Stony Brook on Monday, November 6th.